Good evening to both of you. Thanks for joining. Bakari, there's been a resurgence of this extreme white nationalist conspiracy that there is an attempt to replace white Americans. Remember this from Charlottesville?
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
Nazis and white supremacists in Charlottesville saying Jews will not replace us. You think these new numbers only reinforce our sense of being under attack?
No question about it. I mean, you look at that, you look at Charlottesville, and you look at what happened January 6th. I mean, what you're seeing now is the browning of America bringing out a lot of the true colors of this country. Whether or not it's the anti-Semitic rhetoric that you just played, whether or not it's the racism or the xenophobia. I mean, look at this panel. It's Bakari Sellers, Don Lemon, and Ana Navarro. Right now, Stephen Miller and Donald Trump are at Mar-a-Lago, and they're throwing up because this is not the America they want to see. And so I actually go as far as saying that a lot of the things that we see going on politically, especially when it comes to voting rights throughout the country, are not because of the 2020 election. It's because of this census. And what we knew is that there's no such thing as economic anxiety. The media did a disservice calling it that. It's cultural anxiety. And there are people who feel as if they're being replaced. It's not true, but that's how they feel. And they're showing out with their violence. They're showing out with their anti-Semitism. They're showing out with their racism, xenophobia, and bigotry. But we're just peeling the Band-Aid off who we really are, Don.
And they're showing out really in some, especially some conservative places in media. I want you to look at this whole, Anna, this whole replacement idea. It's not just at the white nationalist rally. It's found a willing home where else? On the Fox propaganda network. Take a listen to this.
The Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. Demographic change is the key to the Democratic Party's political ambitions. In order to win and maintain power, Democrats plan to change the population of the country. This is the administration bringing felons, violent criminals, into our country on purpose. Why would you do something like that? What they're doing is bringing in people they think will vote for them.
I mean, obviously this is absurd and dangerous, but still it resonates with many Americans, Anna. How do you push back on that?
By voting, by showing up, by registering to vote. Listen, some of the numbers I saw today are really encouraging when it comes to raw numbers, right? There's almost 20% of the population is Latino, 18.2. But those numbers don't mean as much if the black and brown communities, if minority communities don't show up and flex that political muscle. Having the numbers does not mean as much. And so I think we need to be very aware of the forces in this country that are trying to divide us, that are trying to keep us down, that are trying to build fear around us, that are trying to demonize us, that are trying to portray us as other than, as if we don't belong. And, it's people who forget what this country was founded on and who was here when folks came. This is, America is what we see reflected in this census. What I'm very concerned about, though, Don, is the gerrymandering and the redistricting, yes. Because the numbers are one thing, but then how does that translate into political power? And the folks that are in charge of legislatures are very savvy and very good at drawing districts that are not reflective of America.
Well, you both got it off and got everything off in one question and one answer. So I thank you. Our time is a little bit short.
But we got to say one thing, Don. Before you go, we got to say Tucker Carlson is racist. Tucker Carlson is racist. That's all I wanted to say.
Well,